Hi, I'm Hannah Ensor from Stickman Communications. Today I'm answering the question, how do you use the communication cards? Now everyone uses their pack slightly differently depending on what works for them, so I'm going to talk about what works for me personally. I use them in three main ways, which I categorise as 1. Here and now, this is the one thing you need to know. 2. I don't want to explain this yet again. And 3. This is the shape of my normal. So, here and now, this is the one thing I need you to know. For example, if I'm having trouble with my speech and someone comes to talk, I can use a card to let them know what's happening. If I've got really high pain levels and I'm feeling really fragile, again, I can just let people know without needing to talk about it. So this card reads, caution, high pain levels, excessive grumping likely. Then I also have cards where here and now I might need, for example, to tell people that I'm okay, I'm just having a nap. So when I'm having a nap in my car, I put this on the dashboard. It says, sometimes I lie down to manage a medical condition. Similarly, if I want to put my head down and have a timeout in a restaurant or a cafe, again, I can explain. I can say that's what I'm doing. Now, I've used my cards in all these scenarios I've listed and many more, and I've had some really positive reactions. Usually people smile, accept it, and then behave appropriately, or at least more appropriately than they were before, which has been so useful. And the second category was the I don't want to explain this again. Now, both POTS and hypermobility syndromes are poorly understood, and even the people who have heard about them often have some misconceptions. So, and then at the same time, if I want people to understand the way I behave, the way I manage my conditions, I need them to understand the basics about my conditions, which means I then end up on an endless routine, endless cycle of explaining the same thing again and again, which is A, very boring, and B, a waste of energy when I have limited supplies. It's also frustrating that often the verbal explanations that I give don't seem to be heard. It's as if people only hear what confirms their preconceived ideas. So, and if those ideas are wrong, then it doesn't help. So my condition explanation cards get used a lot. I will use them at medical appointments, with friends, with family, anyone who asks so what's wrong with you? And I think it would be useful for me if they understood the basics. They allow me to explain concisely, without effort, and in a format that most people seem to process much better than the spoken word. Meanwhile, I can get on with more interesting things. And then the third usage is that this is the shape of my normal. So, for example, when I'm going to spend time with someone who I don't know well, this could be socially or in a work context, I will often hand over my whole pack of cards and say something like, these give you the basics about my medical condition, just so you know what to expect. I can hand over all the key information in a format that's quick, easy, light-hearted, and the effect that I've observed is that people often become accidentally educated. So they don't set out to study my conditions, but simply by enjoying looking through the cards, they learn a lot. Now this means that if symptoms kick off, or if I need to behave differently in public, I can do so without being questioned by the person I'm with. In fact, often I find that the person I'm with who's been educated with the cards is then in a position they can explain to others, again taking that pressure off me. It's almost like being able to train up a PA or a support network wherever I go and at a moment's notice. And this type of usage is my favourite type, and probably the where I use them most, because it gives that support network and enables me to do a lot more than I could otherwise. So overall, I've met a lot of people who've responded really well to the cards. We've even been contacted by several paramedics and other medical professionals saying how our cards have made their job so much easier because they've got the clear, concise information and instructions. My cards have made my life a lot easier because they help other people understand my normal. They mean I don't have to worry about what if my symptoms kick off. I know that if things happen, I've got the tools to explain what's going on and what I need. So I hope this has been helpful, and you can find our full range of keyring cards and other products on our website stickmancommunications.co.uk. Thanks for watching.